What's good, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Smokin and Grillin with me, AB. Check it out. I probably should have just opened this video up by just saying, hey, happy holidays to everybody and happy new year. Hey, so check this out. When you saw that title, you seen that thumbnail, you know what I'm doing. We finna bring 2021 in with a bang. And before I show you these ingredients, check this out. This is one of my little Christmas gifts right here. Hey, everybody know I like to use the word, where is it at right here? Hey, it's fire, and check it out, it's lit. Hey, so with that being said, let's go over these ingredients, and let me just show you how easy it is to make a real seafood, great tasting boil. Now, if you guys look right here, hey, it's New Year's. I mean, if we gonna spin, when we gonna spin, right? So I only got like a little, and they call this a couple of clusters. Look how small this is, 3 legs on it. This that snow crab. Got these here, but look, the real star, look at this right here. Ah, yeah, got that king crab. Hey, look at that meat right there. Hey, my mouth is already salivating, you know, just looking at this. Got a lot of meat. We got lobsters. We got lobster tail, right? Now, when it comes to this lobster tail, I'm gonna cut this down the middle, all the way down completely to the tail, so we got 2 halves. In case you guys got them greedy people that be out there, you know, like hogging everything, at least you know how many ever lobster tails you can have. You just times that by 2 and everybody will get a piece of meat, right? Now, we're gonna put onions in here. Look, I'm just gonna halve that onion, put it in there because we want that onion flavor to go in along with it, right? Now I set this right here. This was a frozen, this is just frozen corn. It's already cut. Now, if you got a lot of people, you could take a pack and even cut this in half right here. But this is more so personal for about, I think it's only about 4 or 5 people that's gonna be eating off of this boil, right? This is my other onion. We got butter. Check this out. Look at this right here. I like these. This is a little bit on the high end. They very, very inexpensive. Look, take the tea light in the bottom. It's got a ceramic top. You put your butter in here, let this melt, and boom, let's give you that little bit of an elegant type look. I got a few of these. I'm gonna set these around the table, you know what I mean? So everybody can have one, you know, in front of them. They got their own personal butter station. Now, let's talk about these shrimp. Look at this right here. Look, this is like a couple of pounds of shrimp. I've already went ahead. Now, some people do it the way they like to do it. Some people like to leave the tails on. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say 9.8 out of 10 times, I take and I peel them, I do everything. So I like to get my shrimp like that. I take the tails off, the whole shebang. You know, just got a couple of pounds. You guys should always have this shrimp. If you follow this channel, you need to keep shrimp on deck in your freezer at all times. And then if you guys got access to it at your local grocery store, you can get it fresh too, you know, through your, like the fish part of your butcher. Now, let's talk about, we got lemons. I'm gonna cut these. Actually, I'm gonna put a couple, I think I'm gonna put a couple in the water, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna keep a couple like at the end, because you know everybody like to squeeze lemon on it. And now I'm gonna putting red potatoes in. Now this is where it get a little tricky. Look at, when you buy a pack of potatoes, they don't always be the same size, obviously. I'll show you like this. That's 3 different sizes. This size right here will be ready before this will be, right? So we're gonna cut this in half, and those 2 halves will be about this size right here. So this one I won't cut, this one I will. You know, and it's gonna be real tricky because you don't want these to be soggy. If you watch some of my last seafood boils, you know, getting the potatoes right, that's the key. Now, what are these? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you know, if you've been following me, you know exactly what type of andouille sausage that is, right? I'm gonna go ahead and let the cat out the bag. This right here, it's that chicken andouille, made by Halfie. I done put Halfie on the map. Hey, they wanna know, hey Halfie, if you listening, you wanna know who buying all your sausages out here in California? It's me. All right, so let's go ahead and put this lobster tail back on this ice right here. Now, let's get the drum roll. Oh, check this out. Look right here. Right here, I got about 12 eggs. I got a dozen eggs in here, and we boiling those because we gonna peel these and we gonna drop this in the boil too. Now I saved the best part for last. What are we gonna use for the seasoning, right? So I'm gonna show you. This is what got Sweet Smoky Joe in trouble. I ain't gonna say it got him in trouble, but you see this right here? This Creole Seafood Boil? This right here is a must-have. I know everybody like to use them other brands out there. I'm not gonna name drop no names or nothing like that. I can just tell you this. I can promise you this. If you trust me and you watch this channel, get yourself some of this. I know a lot of you guys had this on back order, but I'm here to tell you, and that's why I'm making this video. It's back in stock. He'll be fulfilling orders right after the 1st. Look at that, so you guys can see it. Deep Creole Seafood Boil. This right here is the magic. This will rival any, hey, I'm not gonna say nothing. Get this, make your boil, And to be honest with you, you can sprinkle this on a lot of different things, but I'm not, hey, just a little bit of information at a time. Hey, with that being said, this is gonna be the key. I'll put all the information down in the #1 comment. And with that being said, I'm waiting for my timer to go off with these eggs and we finna get started. Now let's get it. Okay, so you just saw me go ahead and put the, what did I do? I put the butter in the pot, right? So now I just wanna cut these down. Now you'll notice I'm just cutting them. You cut them how you want to cut them, but I think cutting these in like circles is probably like the best. You know, these little slices like this. I like the meat, and the reason I put the butter in there, because what I want to do is I want to put this in there, and I want it to start releasing some of the flavor, you know, into that butter. Then we're gonna add water to it, all of that great andouille. Look at all of that. Look at the color inside of there. You guys see that? That right there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you can see. Got them all cut. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this inside of that with that melted butter. So now we're just, I'll put it over here. I don't want no hot butter splashing on me, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and just turn my fire up just a little bit. Got that going. We wanna make sure, hey, and again, look, you see how big my pot is? I don't have no issues with getting all of my pieces flat on the bottom now. Well, first, let me make sure they got a little bit of that butter on it. Let's get a little heat. It's almost melted, and we're just gonna let the heat do the work right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and just cut these. Look, I just flare these out. You don't have to. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look how nice that look right there. So look, we just wanna cut this in half, right? So I take my hand, look, I just get a center, take my hand like that, and I start towards the top. You know what I mean? You can see, once you start putting pressure on it, you can hear it crack, and then you just start applying your pressure and working your way down. Now this is a sharp knife. I just wanna make sure I get it to come all the way back. Put some pressure over the top of the blade like this, and then it'll just cut all the way down. And this right here, look at that right there. Now you got your 2 halves. This is a little piece of the shell. Take that out. There you go, real simple. And now I put them back on ice until I'm ready to put them in. And all you do now is just repeat the process. Boom. Okay, look, I brought you guys back over here so you guys can see. You know what butter looks like, right? But as it heats, remember I was telling you about releasing the flavor? You see that right there? Ah, that right there is flavor. So look, that butter right there, I could bottle that up and sell it with that andouille seasoning and that chicken fat and all of that in there. And that right there be the best butter on the planet. Now, let's continue. Okay, so now it come time to, let's put some water in here. Everything is, you know, ready in the inside. Let me turn this off, wait. Like this. Now it's time to fill it up. It's up to you guys. It depends on how much you have, but I obviously got enough as far as my pot size go to put as much as I want to, because don't forget, the more you fill this, the higher up it'll come. Let me get my doorbell and I'll be right back. Now, after you get it filled, you want to bring it to a boil. And then it's time to add your deep Creole seafood boil. I'm using, like, again, like this is just nothing but a half a pack, right? Remember, the more you put in there, the more bite it's gonna have. But this right here, for a pot this size, half of that is perfect. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is my corn, right? If you're using corn, like especially if you're using frozen corn, look, you want to put this in first. So I'm gonna put this in like that, and just notice I put it in up against the edge and I drop it down. Reason being, listen, that's hot. All of us that got a little experience that's working in this kitchen, we all know that we all got the battle wounds to prove it about the splash and all of that. So we're just gonna add this like you see. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just start prepping, you know, the rest of my ingredients, right? So look, you got your lemons. All you do is just cut them in half, because we're gonna add that into the water. Now I've already peeled my onions. Look, I'm just like cutting off like the ends, and then what we're gonna do is we just gonna cut those into quarters. Look, they're gonna dissolve in, you know, in our boil, but that's okay, because that's what we want. We want to get some of that onion flavor too. Now, when it comes to this garlic right here, look, we're gonna save some time. Just go ahead and cut it the same way you see I'm doing it right here. Look at that. That opens it up and gets it ready. Now, just throw away some of that peeling, those peels, and just start adding everything. Right there, you just saw, I just put the onions in, then we come with the lemons, and now the garlic. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. We're gonna put the potatoes in, right? But you wanna make sure your potatoes are almost about the same size. Reason being, if you got some smaller ones, you gotta cook longer. So, you know, because your bigger ones are gonna get, you know, done. your smaller ones are gonna become mushy. So just look at the size and cut them accordingly. Just keep them very, very close. As your water comes back up to the boil, just insert them and set yourself a timer. Okay, so I let these in here. These have been boiling, right? You know those potatoes, that's where it gets tricky. So you're gonna wanna get yourself some type of, let's see, you wanna get yourself a fork, knife, or whatever. And what you wanna do is get yourself a strainer. You're gonna need to go in here and find yourself a potato, right? And when you find one, you just wanna go in here and check the tenderness. This right here, that's about right. It's still not quite done. This has only been about 10 or 11 minutes. But I'm gonna lower this back in here. We don't wanna overcook it. And we got a little bit more boiling to do, right? So now we got that. I'm liking that. Now it's time to go ahead and add our crab. Now look at this right here. Look at the size of this. Look at my hand and look at the size of this right here. This right here gonna make for some good meat. Now you just wanna go ahead and start adding all of your king crab. This is a little bit of a smaller claw. For these, when they long like that, you know what I mean, just to keep people from like taking these big pieces, you know what I mean, and trying to like run off into the side of the corner, I'll go ahead and just add it this way. Now you guys can take a pair of scissors and cut this off. But for me, I've done some of them like that already, but since I didn't do that one, I'm gonna just add it. Here's another one. Then if you got snow crab leg, I'm just bringing this in right now. I would add this last, like right when I put the shrimp in. So I'm gonna put these off to the side. And then these pieces like this, we're just gonna start adding them. Now, I'm gonna start adding my lobster tails. You guys gotta get the order right so that everything finishes about the same time. Now these lobster tails are small. We all know that once it cooks, they like to curl up. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to put it on top just so you guys can see. Remember I talked about, you know, the snow crab. Now if you guys got a lot of clusters, now would be probably the time to just add them because they only gonna need about 5 or 6 minutes. And then last, as far as the seafood goes, I'm gonna go ahead and add my shrimp. Now you guys seen this, I had these all to the side. Now I'm just gonna add them. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and just give it a whirl. You can see, look how quick they start to curl up. They're starting to tighten up already. Boom, we gotta add these eggs. Now, these are just hard-boiled eggs. You guys do them like you like them. It's gonna be, I like my eggs soft, but it doesn't make a difference because it's gonna be in this hot water right here. You know what I mean? They're gonna firm up. But hey, just that real Southern seafood boil. And this is really like a request because everybody was asking me like, hey, you didn't put no eggs in it. Well, there you go. We're gonna set a timer for 5 minutes and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna shut it off. We're gonna drain this and get this out so we can eat it. Gotta use this right here. You guys gotta get yourself some of these. This right here is like when we talk about leveling up, that's it right here. So what I'm doing is, it's just a tea light. I'm lighting it. You can see how it works. Look, the tea underneath the ceramic cup, that's gonna heat whatever we put in there. If you don't have what I'm getting ready to use, you guys can use that too. This right here, right? But nah, we're not finna do that. Let me show you what we're finna use. For me, I'm gonna use this ghee, just that clarified butter. When you go to a restaurant, they don't take regular fatty butter and put it in there and melt it and give it to you. This is what they do. So right now, it's been in my refrigerator. It's kinda, you know, hard. We're just gonna put it here. Okay, so let me just do this so you guys can see this. If I take this spoon and I just lift this up, maybe you guys can see the color. Look, when I talk about clarified, look at how clear that is. It's got that yellow tint, but it needs a little help, right? Because you see this right here? It's that garlic butter, the seasoning from Sweet Smoky Joe. And I know my channel might look like a Sweet Smoky Joe product, you know, channel, but let me just say this. A half a teaspoon of this in here, and look at that right there. Look at them seasonings. Let's take a look at it. We got it boiling. It's nice. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn this fire off. As soon as you open the pot, and then look at these pieces right here. Look at this. That right there, that's monumental, folks. Now, once it's done, then it's time for you to go ahead and do your plating job, right? Now, I said plating because that's what I'm used to doing, but really, come on, this is a seafood boil, right? That's me being fancy, just taking that and putting that in that ceramic dish. But you know, you like to just spread some butcher paper or even some newspaper out. You know, you drain all of your liquid and you just pour the whole thing over your counter. But look at that right there. Look at that lobster. Ah, yeah. This right here is fire. Now check this out. Look, remember that ghee? Get you something, whatever you want to dip. I'm being bougie by using a fork, but you know how we get down, folks. Oh man. Everything about this, the spices is just right. And I got it. You guys probably thinking, for those of you guys that like them mukbangs, you know what I mean? You like, hey, mukbang night. Nah, I'm finna get out here. I'm finna get nasty down to my elbows. But I will tell you this, y'all. You know what this is. You gotta wash that down. Now, I don't know what I did to deserve, you know, such a nice treat and to wash it down with this Kool-Aid. Hey, but whatever it is, I'm thankful. Listen, I want to tell everybody Happy New Year. Don't forget, listen, that's that Creole Seafood Boil by Sweet Smoky Joe. I promise you, if you took my advice and you guys went with that Creole kick and or the garlic butter seasoning, this right here, this is the top 3. This is gonna elevate your seafood game, and I got something for you too. You can put this really on anything too, just a little sprinkle of that. Hey, but enough about that. Now listen, if you're new to my channel, let me just take this time to say, hey, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out here, it's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And with that being said, you guys, I'm about to get nasty and dirty with this, and I'm out of here. Peace.